Recent incidents of youth violence in the Inner Harbor, as well as drug and gang activity in many Baltimore communities, indicates how we as a society are failing our young people, convincing young people that there are choices that they can make, including going to college and making a difference in keeping them off the streets. Today we'll explain how an inner-city youth program and group is beating the odds. All this and more today on Time. Good morning, I'm Kai Jackson and welcome to On Time. You know, we hear so much about negative press these days about today's youth, from poor academic performance in schools to incarceration for serious violent crimes, but there are programs that are making a difference, one teen at a time. The Winning Teams Mentoring Program has had a perfect score in getting their participants into college. Joining us to talk about the program are Latan Smith from William H. Lamel Middle School, Damon Barnes, also from Lamel, and Malcolm Epps from Connections Leadership Academy, and Stephen Mitchell. Stephen is the person who started the Winning Teams Mentoring Project. Welcome all of you to On Time.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to start with the young people, Stephen, if that's okay to you. Latan,
Right.
Tell me how you got involved in this program.
Well, I got involved by, it came to my school one day, and I didn't start it like right away.
Uh-huh.
They said they needed more girls in the program. So me and my friend Kim Brianna decided to join to help with the girl situation.
And what did you think or hope to get out of it?
Well, I hope to get out of it having fun and meeting new people.
Has that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you've met these guys so far. Damon, you're also in the program.
Yeah.
Why did you get involved?
I got involved because
Did you think you needed to be mentored?
yeah,
You needed some help. What areas did you need help in?
like my schoolwork.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do very well in work.
Okay. But you recognize that, so you said to yourself, hey, you know what, I need a little help. Let me get involved with these guys. And how were your grades as you finished up this school year? The school year's over now, so how did you do?
They got a little better.
Okay, that's a good sign. It's a good sign. And Malcolm, how about you?
I got in the program by, one time it just happened because my aunt wanted me to go with my cousin to see this new program.
Right.
And Mr. Mitchell said at that time I was in 6th grade, he said I was too young. And then he just gave me a chance, and I've been in there since 6th grade.
I'm going to call you Smiley. You got the greatest smile. Malcolm just started grinning ear to ear when I started talking to him before the segment started. So, and your grades also got a little better, Malcolm?
A little.
A little better. Okay. Stephen, what made you start this program? We should mention, we don't want to embarrass you, you're an assistant state's attorney for the city of Baltimore.
That's right.
If anyone sees a need to work with young people, you certainly do. Unfortunately, I know the juvenile system sees young people, but you also see young people as well, even if they're 18 or 19-year-old adults, correct?
That's right, and I spent most of my time in the state's attorney's office working in juvenile, but we recognize that what we do outside of the courthouse is just as important, if not more important, than what we do inside of the courthouse. So we decided to start this program to, start working in some positive ways with some kids.
Absolutely. And how long has the program been in operation?
We just finished up our 4th year with the Winning Teams program. We have middle school students, high school students who act as the mentors to the middle school students, and college students who act as the mentors to the high school students.
Kind of an each one, teach one philosophy.
Exactly. So next year, these guys go on to high school, they'll be working at their different schools, and they'll be having college students as mentors, but also helping them mentor some younger kids.
Now, they'll mentor young people. And Latan, let's talk about that. Let's follow up on what Stephen is saying. How will it feel to you to be able to mentor someone younger than you?
Well, I mentored younger people in my past with other mentoring programs, but I had stopped because I had stopped going to the program.
Okay.
So it'd be fun to pick that back up and have fun with little kids.
I'm curious from you all as young people, if you decide to mentor some people, or a young person, let's just say it's one, does that kind of put a little more in a good way, but a little more pressure on you to make sure you're doing the right thing?
Yeah.
How so, Damon?
Because, you got to do better to make them do better.
I like that. I like that. Right. If you're doing one, if you're telling them to do one thing but doing something else, like even if it's not good, you're not going to have a lot of credibility with them. In other words, right?
Yeah.
You agree with that, Malcolm?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Stephen, I guess you like to hear that, and I imagine that's part of the goal too, is to not only get them mentored, but to have them now feel like they have a sense of responsibility and stake in their community, but in their own lives.
That's right. Malcolm, the young man Malcolm was talking about, his cousin was in high school when he started. Now he's in college, and he comes back and helps with the program. And I think, you know, part of what we want to do is we want to expose these kids to other positive youth. There's a lot of negative stereotypes, like you say out there, negative images. And we have a saying in the Winning Teams program, your exposure determines your focus.
I like that.
Your focus determines your reality. And we feel like by exposing them to positive things and positive images, putting them on a college campus, taking them to places like the Baltimore Symphony, things like that, you know, it becomes a part of their reality. This is what I want to do with myself.
Right. Malcolm, you even had an opportunity not too long ago to travel to court with Mr. Stephen here and see him in action. What was that like?
It was cool, because we got to see, well, the uncool part, to see people, like, get more time in jail. The cool part was to see him in action and to see, like, what he do, because, like, every Saturday we see him, we got regular clothes on, but when we came to court, he had a suit on. Yeah.
Latan, you all have been to the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra. What was that like?
It was fun to listen to the music, but in a way it was boring to just sit there.
You're honest. That's fine.
Right.
You can tell us that.
It was real fun to listen to all the music, the instruments blend together.
You think you might want to be a symphony musician or something one day?
No, but I did play an instrument
You did?
before. I
Which
played
one?
the clarinet and the flute.
How was that?
It was fun.
Okay, so see, you were familiar with that already. Again, talking about exposure, talking about focus, talking about reality.
Exactly.
Which all comes apart of. Let's talk about the college track part, because in the beginning of the segment we talked about how your track record of getting all these young people to college is basically 100%.
Yeah, and we're very proud of that. I mean, we don't expect to always have a 100% success record forever, but the fact is that 38.5% of Baltimore City's high school students do not graduate. And that's the second lowest graduation rate among the top 50 cities in America.
It's just not acceptable to you, is it?
Well, what it is we talk a lot. I'm a lawyer, you know, it's part of my job. But sometimes we got to stop just talking and actually do something about it.
I like that,
So
Steve. Absolutely.
It's a small program, but we're just trying to do our part.
Before the segment started, I want to share this with the audience and with our listeners. Stephen said something interesting to me. He said, before most of you came into the program, and it's like this with many young people, you never thought about college. How many of you are thinking about college now that you got into the program?
I always been thinking
You
about
do?
college because I want to grow up and be an orthodontist. So.
That you want to be an orthodontist. I could have used your help recently. I had some teeth issues. And how about you, Damon?
I'm thinking about college now, because at first I wanted to be a state trooper.
And you still do?
No.
Not now. Do you know what you want to do, or you're not sure?
I want to build a company.
Be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Run your own business. I like that. Malcolm, how about you? What would you like to do?
I would like to play sports, like football or baseball.
That sounds good. You look like you're a little small to play sports. No, I'm just kidding. You look like you'd be a good football player. But how about college? Are you all thinking about going? You all want to go to college?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. And have you been thinking about a major in college, Latan? An area of study?
I want to go to I want to go to the Maryland State Dental School.
Okay, so probably
dentistry.
that sounds good. Major maybe in biology or pre-med as they call it, and then go to dental school. All right, that sounds good. What do you okay, before we close up quickly, how do kids get into this program, Stephen?
Well, next year we're going to be starting a new year, and we're actually kind of excited because we had a large number of students graduating this year, graduating high school.
Right.
And so we have openings. They can contact me at 410-961-2485. They can also check out our website, www.tbtcbaltimore.com. And we will be looking for new students starting in the fall. Very excited about that.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming on today. We appreciate it. Thank you, Latan, Malcolm and Damon. We appreciate it. And Stephen, if you'd like more information on the Winning Teams Mentoring Program, call 410-961-2485 or go to, as Stephen just mentioned, tbtcbaltimore.com.
For the first time ever in Baltimore, a brand new sports radio station on FM. Local sports all day and Ed Norris in the morning. Sports Radio 1057.
Jumpstart a life. Donate your car, boat, or RV to Volunteers of America. We provide more affordable housing for seniors than any other nonprofit in America. Donate your car to Volunteers of America.
Volunteers of America helps me live independently.
Donate your car to Volunteers of America, helping veterans, seniors, children, and families since 1896. Donate your car to Volunteers of America and get a great tax deduction. Call 800-989-0441. 800-989-0441.
The Hyundai Challenge starts now. No matter what they throw at us, we're still saying yes to every deal.
Now is the time to buy. Get an 08 Hyundai Tipper on just $99.90. An 09 Hyundai Elantra, $10,490. 09 Hyundai Sonatas, $11,990. You get Hyundai Assurance and a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty during the Antwerpen Hyundai Challenge.
So we say yes to every deal.
Respect.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For the first time ever in Baltimore, a brand new sports radio station on FM. Local sports all day and Ed Norris in the morning. Sports Radio 1057.
To the United States Armed Forces, the USO is home. Visit us at uso.org.
It's one of the largest festivals on the East Coast, and now with the help from the Baltimore Area Convention and Visitors Association, the African American Heritage Festival is set to attract larger crowds from out of town, visitors who are making Charm City their destination. Joining us to talk about this year's festival is LaRon Finney, chairman of the African American Festival, and April Lomax. April is from Maryland Physicians Care. Welcome both of you on time.
How you doing?
Doing well. I know you're proud of this festival, a history. It's become a point of pride for the city, hasn't it?
It has, and in 8 years, what we've set to accomplish in year 8 is that this will be really a destination not only for the Baltimore region, but for folks around the country. It's unprecedented what folks can get at this event from the Health and Wellness Village, Empowerment Village, Arts, History, and Education, great entertainment, over 100 food vendors, and just great corporate partnerships. So we're very proud of where the festival has become in year 8.
April, how did Maryland Physicians Care become involved?
Well, Maryland Physicians Care has a program, the Healthy Groove, and it's a program that'll be in the Maryland communities. And at the event, we'll actually be offering preventive care, healthy food demonstrations, free recipes, and free tastings. We're going to have interactive video games with the Nintendo Wii. We'll also have outdoor activities, for instance, hula hoop and jump rope contest. And this will all be done to help Marylanders who are eligible for medical assistance, as well as those in the community, to make good decisions about their health.
Now, the festival's for anyone who wants to come, but we know there's obviously a huge component of African Americans who are going to come out to this festival, and we also know from studies recently that there are a great number of medical challenges in the black community. Is that right?
Exactly. That is correct.
What are some of those?
And some of those are heart disease, stroke is becoming very huge. Breast cancer is actually becoming another big issue for African American women, as well as lung cancer and high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So the healthy food demonstration is really going to be helpful because it'll give you an alternative to using, let's say, Crisco. You might be able to use olive oil instead for your cooking needs. So, and the food is very tasty. So we'll have some great recipes there.
That sounds good. LaRon, another new partner in this year's festival is brightening things up. Commercial interiors, what role are they playing?
Well, our vision for 2009 was to really create a Walt Disney effect. So from the archways to the different type of signage to how we've laid out the new site in different zones. And Commercial Interiors, one of the largest minority contractors in the state of Maryland, came on board as our partner in the event, and I just know folks will be blown away when they come to the new footprint.
What difference will that make, do you think, to the average viewer, to me or the average patron coming into the event?
Well, it's just going to be an experience. Not only have we enhanced what the villages look and feel like, we've set up reserved seating at the main stage. We've added some VIP cabanas. We've listened to what prior attendees have said about the event and how we could improve it, and we are going to make those steps, and with the help of Commercial Interiors, we're very fortunate to have an A-team on board.
All right. April, Maryland Physicians Care is also one of the sponsors of this event. Do you think having a presence here, you'll see immediately some type of indicator, barometer, if you will, that people are starting to get the message, hey, you know what, maybe there's something about my diet, my lifestyle I can change, prolong my life, or the life of a spouse or a sibling?
Absolutely. The attendants that will be coming into the Health Village will be able to gauge it by that. And then also, the Healthy Groove program will be going into the community throughout the next several months to, continue to carry on the mission of AFRAM and do free screenings within the communities. And this will be done along with our Healthy Groove partners, St. Agnes Healthcare, Maryland General Health Systems, which will be actually present on the at AFRAM, and then Washington County Health Systems in Western Maryland Health System.
April, LaRon, thank you for coming on today. We really appreciate it, absolutely. Quickly, some of the performers this year?
We're very fortunate. We have Anita Baker, Tina Marie, En Vogue, Terrence Blanchard, Raheem Devon, the list goes on.
Baltimorean.
We're very fortunate to have an A-list of talent.
Old school and new school joining up today. April, thank you. We appreciate it. Don't miss this year's African American Heritage Festival, July 3rd through 5th at Camden Yards. For details, call 410-235-4427, extension 211, or go to aahf.net. You can also sign up for the 1.5-mile walk and 5K race on July 4th. Call 410-308-1870 for that, or register online, charmcityrun.com.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
In accident cases, medical malpractice, and other injury cases, Neil Lewis has won his clients more than $100 million.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
So if you need a lawyer, you want the $100 million man. Neil Lewis, 1-800-229-9006.
Thanks a million, Neil Lewis.
What connects us? It's the click of a mouse. It's accurate forecasts. It's storm warnings for your neighborhood. It's first warning weather, always on WJZ.com. What connects us? It's the first warning before storms hit your neighborhood. It's accurate forecasts. It's WJZ.
Anyone attempting to spend Father's Day relaxing in something less comfortable than Lazy Boy furniture, which is, well, everything, should stop by our Father's Day sale. Find great savings throughout the store, plus get a free sleeve of golf balls just for coming in. Don't spend a moment of your Father's Day lounging in inferior furniture. Get to Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries as soon as you comfortably can. Find great savings throughout the store and get a free sleeve of golf balls. So hustle in a relaxed sort of way. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. It's time to get comfortable.
The current economic recession has many victims, from individuals who have lost jobs and homes to corporations who are facing bankruptcy to nonprofit organizations who are caught in the middle, losing both individual donors and business donations. While some nonprofits have folded up shop, the BSO, the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra, chose to play a different tune. Joining us to talk about the Music Matters Play Your Part campaign is Paul Meacham. He's president and CEO of the BSO, and Lori Sokolov. Lori is a piccolo players and the BSO Players Committee chair. Welcome both of you to On Time. How are you?
Good.
How is the BSO doing financially as it relates to the arts and other organizations these days?
Well, you know, the BSO has been doing really well the last 2 years. We balanced our budget, and that came after some difficult years, so we'd really turned the BSO around. But that was until last September, and of course we've been impacted by this downturn in the economy just like everyone else, and we've seen it in different ways. I mean, people are not buying so many tickets, you know, they're making decisions at the last minute whether to come or not. So there's a certain, you know, consumer confidence isn't what it used to be. And then we're seeing a drop-off in donations. Actually, we're getting more donors this year. It's just that the average amount that they're able to give is less. So, and then we have, you know, there's been some cuts in government and local and state support. You know, we understand why that is, but nevertheless, it's had an impact on us. And then we also rely from our endowment on a stream of income. And of course, the market has dropped precipitously since September, and so that has impacted us as well.
Laura, you're a professional musician with the BSO?
Yes, I am.
Play the piccolo. How many years have you been a musician? Is this something you started as a child?
Yes, it was. Actually, I started with piano and then switched to piccolo in my teens, but I've been here in Baltimore with the Baltimore Symphony. This is my 41st year.
Wow. 41st with the BSO? My goodness. And I'm going to ask you, because Lori's probably too humble, but people should understand to be a musician at her level with a major symphony, it's years of preparation, is it not, Paul?
It's years of preparation, dedication, hours and hours of daily practice. And really great orchestras like the Baltimore Symphony are a destination for the country's top players. So once you've arrived at an orchestra like the Baltimore Symphony, the likelihood is that you're going to stay there, and in Laurie's case, for the whole of her career.
Laurie, what's the idea behind Music Matters, Play Your Part campaign?
It was something that came about really because of the atmosphere at work these days, and of course the financial crisis. We're in a fantastic place now. We have an energetic board. We have fantastic management with a level of transparency we've never had before, and a wonderful, dynamic, exciting, and inspiring music director in Marin Alsop.
Sure.
And when the financial crisis hit, we saw management promised us that they would come to us last for assistance with the economic crisis, and they proceeded to take $1 million in cuts of their own. Am I correct about that, Paul?
That's right.
And
so you all made a conscious decision because of what you saw?
We did. We wanted to participate. We felt that with the information and respect that we were receiving came a responsibility, and the players really wanted to do something. We started with a contribution to the annual fund, which built up to $24,000, and then we saw that more was needed, and so we came up with concessions and some furlough weeks, freeze in pay, and freeze in pension benefits.
And I'm not trying to cut you off, but I want to highlight this because I want our listeners and viewers to hear it. Then, as an organization of musicians led by Marin, you all decided to basically give up a salary, a portion of your salary, totaling how much money from all the musicians, including Marin?
Totaling, well, Marin's gift was, I think, inspired by our gift, which was $1 million. $1
million?
$1 million.
From how many musicians?
93 musicians.
That's a lot of money.
Yes, it is.
That's a great deal of money. And how was the response by Paul and the other members of the board?
Well, probably Paul can speak to that.
Well, I think we were genuinely moved. You know, you don't normally expect people to volunteer give-backs. You know, I think the innovative way in which they approached it was, look, we know you're having challenges, particularly in the fundraising area during this very difficult economic time. We want to help with that. If we give back $1 million, can we leverage that to raise another $2 million? And so we created this Music Matters campaign, which is a match. So for the $1 million, for every dollar that the musicians gave back, we raised $2.
And again, this money goes in to keep the BSO on stable ground, basically. Let's talk about this, not just from the philanthropic or generous aspect from the musicians, but also financially. What does this mean for the musicians to give back this kind of money for the BSO financially?
Well, I mean, you know, I think what it means is that everyone is having to tighten their belt. I mean, there are sacrifices all around. I mean, we've had to lay off on the staff side. We've laid off staff. Staff have also taken furloughs.
Have you cut back on the number of concerts?
We have not yet, but next season we've trimmed a little. I think it's responsible that we've trimmed where we've had to, but we don't want to impact artistic quality. I mean, this is a great orchestra, and the reason why people come and support us is because it's a great orchestra, and we just don't want to impact the quality.
Do the musicians periodically throughout the year travel as well, or are you always at the Meyerhof in concerts?
This year we've just been at the Meyerhof. Traditionally, once every 3 or 4 years, we do a tour.
Every couple of years, okay, but not very often.
But you know, we have a second home in Bethesda,
right,
Strathmore. So every week we're traveling because of the, you know, we have 2 homes.
Sure. The musicians are also reaching out to the community through a number of smaller neighborhood performances. Let's talk about some of those.
We have done some presentations in people's homes where we play for a group of interested people who are interested in becoming governing members or have been invited to become governing members.
The full complement or just a portion of the
Just
symphony?
A portion of us, yeah.
Wonderful.
And also there's one coming up in Patterson Park next month, I believe, a brass trio. We're playing in shopping malls.
Wonderful.
And we have a presence in the lobby before and after every concert. There are musicians who are talking to patrons, explaining the process.
When Hillary Hahn played recently, when you all played together, she signed autographed her CDs. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Quickly, before we go, because there are a couple of questions I want to get in here with. Give us an idea, our viewers and our listeners, how big is the BSO budget, if you can tell us?
The BSO budget is around $28 million, so it's a pretty significant business.
Takes a lot to operate the symphony and also the Meyerhof.
Absolutely, that's all part of that, and you know, it's a big business, and we have to run it like a business.
And when the Baltimore Opera Company closed up, how concerned were you all as artists?
We were all very concerned. I mean, that was really sad news, and that was also a motivation for us because the performers and musicians with the opera didn't get a chance to do anything, to give back. And I think they probably all would have gladly if they knew that the other choice was closing the doors.
Laurie Sokoloff, Paul Meacham, we're out of time. I want to thank you for coming on and thank you for sharing this important story and for being, I think, in a sense, a beacon for other organizations, other arts organizations, to let them know there's a way to survive and stay alive. It just means making sacrifices and working together. Management and employees can work in concert, and they don't have to be contentious, correct?
That's correct.
That is correct.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming on, Paul Meacham, Laurie Sokoloff. By the way, to support the BSO's Music Matters Play Your Part campaign, give them a call, 410-783-8124, or go to bsomusic.org.
For the first time ever in Baltimore, a brand new sports radio station on FM. Local sports all day and Ed Norris in the morning. Sports Radio 1057.
4 for $5 for Father's Day. Farm on Mail! Now get the biggest Dad's Day deals ever. Tees, tanks, shorts, golf shirts, big men's sizes too. 4 for $5. From a huge designer buyout, sportswear from Chaps, Stockers, Perry Ellis, $10. Name brand swimwear and activewear from Reebok. Body glove from Adidas, $5. Plus 17,000 dozen designer gifts for Dad. Killer priced $4. 4 for $5 for Father's Day. Now come stretch those bills at Farm on Mills.
Like getting a discount? You're gonna love Mattress Discounters. The difference is the discount. Our grand opening introduction of Sealy Posturepedic, and Stearns & Foster mattresses is going on now, but our sale ends Tuesday. It's your last chance to get a Sealy Posturepedic Firm, Pillow Top, or Ultra Plush mattress set for just $7.99, with Queen and King set savings of up to $500. But hurry, our grand opening sale ends Tuesday night, only at
For the first time ever in Baltimore, a brand new sports radio station on FM. Local sports all day and Ed Norris in the morning. Sports Radio 1057.
Happy Father's Day to all of our dads. Thank you for watching WJZ, and thank you for listening on our CBS radio stations. You can watch on time online, WJZ.com.
The Orioles at the Phillies today. Watch it on WJZ.
This is CBS, America's most watched network.